All right, we're live. Hi, everyone. It's Don and Danielle, and my special guest right here. She's my special guest tonight because she absolutely loathes this idea of being on a camera and speaking with people watching, even though we're just talking to a video screen right now.
Yeah, I don't like it.
She does not like it at all. And I'm oddly enough not a big fan of being recorded, but I've adjusted with the guys. I mean, I don't mind publicly speaking, but I just don't like being recorded at all. Anyway, um, thanks for tuning in. And our topic tonight is the dogs may bump into our microphone down here. So if you hear any weird thumping, that's one of our dogs chiming in. Um, but our topic tonight is marriage and recovery. And we do have a unique situation where both of us are in recovery and attempting to work a 12-step program to the best of our ability. Um, she looks at me,
I didn't.
the best of my ability. Um, and just the complexities of not just relationship, but also, the juggling of a blended family. Danielle is an amazing human being. Simply probably one of the best people I know on the planet. Um, because she not only handles me and my crazy, but also I'm down at the center 3 days a week, and she's holding it down, and she's got a full-time job and carrying on with three kids, and um, who are in varying stages of growth and mental development. And it's just a lot. It's a lot, and she does it with grace and dignity, and I'm really quite honestly amazed at the superhuman that she is. um yeah, one day I'll be half the man she is.
Stupid.
She said stupid. So Danielle,
Yeah.
what would you like to talk about this evening?
Well, I have opened the big book to a page.
A page? What page is it?
Well, even though I despise the fact that I'm being recorded right now and doing this, it did make me think of To the Wives.
Which it's antiquated language, so it means really to the partners, right? To husbands, to wives, to partners.
Yeah. Well, what really I think about our relationship, and I bet many people who um are in a relationship with somebody who's working a program, well, they are also working a 12-step program, right? Because that's super unique. There's one thing if you have, the husband or the wife that's the addict and alcoholic, but there's another thing if you have both.
Right.
And what I found these past couple years is the thing for us addicts is that we will tend to read the To the Wives chapter, but forget that you're also the wife, if that makes sense.
The
So,
partner,
like,
yeah.
you're also the partner. So,
Mhm.
we're so used to reading To the Wives as the addict that has caused the damage and um all of that stuff, but a lot of the time when we're together in this relationship, like, you could be reading To the Wives and implementing the qualities and the suggestions that they say to the wives, because I'm also an addict. And I think a lot of times we forget that. We forget to reread this chapter when we are in a relationship with two people who are no longer using.
Hmm.
And it's almost like we forget we're in relationship with an
And
addict.
yeah, yeah. I
Um,
I I quite often do.
I know. That's what made that's
Honestly,
what made me think of
honestly, I don't look at you as a drug addict.
yeah, but I am.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And I know that you are like at the core, but um she is so recovered, people.
Not true.
She is so recovered that I can't tell the difference between her as a drug addict and a person who does not have the illness.
Yeah, sometimes I do think you forget that, there's things and by the way, in the To the Wives chapter, if anyone's even listening, um, I do think that absolutely everybody should read this chapter of the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous to the Wives. It's just got such amazing suggestion for the partner, and even you can apply it if you're like a mom or a friend or a close family member. There's so many great things in here that you can read, but um, there's something specific that really stuck out to me. So, um, okay, if you and your husband find a solution for the pressing problem of drink, you are, of course, going to be very happy. But all problems will not be solved at once. Seed has started to sprout in a new soil, but growth has only begun. In spite of your newfound happiness, there will be ups and downs. Many of the old problems will still be with you. This is as it should be.
And before we go further, if you do have a book, it's page 117. We're on page 117, halfway down the page.
The faith and sincerity of both you and your husband will be put to the test. These workouts should be regarded as part of your education, for thus you will be learning to live. You will make mistakes, but if you are in the earnest, they will not drag you down. Instead, you will capitalize on them. A better way of life will emerge when they are overcome. This is so important to me because I think another great topic we can touch on is like there's a lot of wording in here that suggests both people are very dedicated to working a program, right? There's wording in here that makes it very clear that both people are working a program and dedicated to working a program. And when you have two people committed to that same cause, when you do have conflict, it says here that they won't drag you down. You will actually capitalize on your conflict. So I thought something nice we can talk about is like, well, I don't know if it's nice, but how
How to
how do
have
we
conflict.
how do we
Oh no.
know, like how do you know that I'm working a program? Because that's kind of a finicky, like two 12 steppers in a relationship. Like what are the rules, right? What have we learned that hasn't worked well? And then how do you know when I'm working a program? And then how do I know when you're working one? I feel like is a good
That's a
topic.
I think we're about to end this show early.
No, you know
I
what I
feel
mean?
like I feel like this was a whole setup. I'm kidding.
Whatever.
Whatever. Um, that's a good question. I mean, love, patience, tolerance, forgiveness. These are qualities that are essential in relationship. And man, I don't score very high on all those. Honestly, uh, I think I definitely try, but like I see your patience and your you have this ability to, and you've always had it ever since we met. You've had this ability to distance yourself emotionally from whatever, take a step back, and then analyze it from all sides to see the bigger picture instead of the minutia, instead of the, well, here's the attorney. Like, you don't lawyer up. You don't say, okay, well, you said this and you were standing here wearing, these clothes, and this is what the evidence is. You take that and then you take a step back and you look at it from all angles. And it's something that I've admired in you for years. I unfortunately am more of a reactive personality. Um, but I see that in you when you you practice the principle in secret, almost like the principles in secret, like you live out loud, but you don't make, I don't want to say a scene, but you're not trying to impress me with how often you're praying a day, right? Like unless we intentionally pray together over something or with the kids, um I I don't see you in your prayer closet. I don't see you in your secret place where you go to pray, um, or how you do it. She does not like to, just like she doesn't like to be on video. She also doesn't like to pray publicly. Um,
I'll do it.
she will do it.
If I'm asked or if I feel God be like, you better do this, then I'll do
Yeah, I gotta tell this one story.
it. Whatever.
So we're at family day, and and Dwayne put Danielle on the spot, and there was like 25, 30 people at this family day, and Danielle was so taken aback. She just said, "Our Father, who art in heaven." And I don't know. I
I
just found
really get embarrassed. I don't know.
found
I
that
just
so.
am such an embarrassed out loud prayer. I get embarrassed talking out loud often anyway, like in front of people. So it's just more vulnerable when you're praying, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
But and I don't see why she is, because like she has so much to contribute and so much to offer, that I think her light needs to shine, uh for all the world to see, because like I think you have
Oh,
so much more to offer. Yeah, it's true. And I probably need to talk less.
so true.
Also true. Randy, get back. Get back. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
See that snout, everybody, and the tongue. Get go lay down.
Down, down. Um, well, have, I know clearly when you are utilizing, well, living in spiritual principles, but utilizing the tools that we are supposed to be utilizing, like 10 stepping. Um, I can so clearly, I know night and day when you are leveraging a sponsor to go reflect after you're feeling disturbed and then you come back to me after that. I think our conflict is truly 180.
Mm,
The way we conflict is 180 when you're practicing the pause in your life, you're being watchful, like the book says. And then you take that moment to step away and in humility call your sponsor. And then I don't know, what you guys talk about, but when you come back to me, it is so clear. Like you don't have to tell me you called your sponsor. Um, I can see it. I just know that you've called, and I know that God has shown back up. A godly man has shown back up to like lead me through this conflict. Um
Randy, go lay down. Go
down, 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 sit.
lay down. Down. No, down.
What's she doing?
I don't know. She's being very weird. What do you need? Come here.
We're having
Come here.
I don't even want to call it technical difficulties, animal difficulties.
Animal difficulties. She's being very needy right now.
Yeah. So I forgot what I was saying.
So you're saying about how I return a godly man and uh, with humility, something, something. She says I don't listen to her or something like that.
Yeah, you come back to the conflict. You actually come back to the conflict. That's the difference.
Hmm.
Is you come back and you want to fix it and you don't, it is clear that you don't feel smaller than me
Hmm.
in that moment after you have talked through what your fear was and what was actually going on, and then you come back in. It's two equals trying to solve a problem versus one feeling lower than the other.
Hmm.
Uh,
Yeah.
but that's a tough topic because how many years did we used to have this rule that like we couldn't ask each other about programming.
Yeah.
I don't know where that rule came from. Probably you.
Probably me.
It did
I,
not
I grew. I
work.
grew. I grew up in a family system
It did not work.
that you know, what goes on behind closed doors stays behind closed doors, and then, when you walk out the front door, you're like the Cleaver family, if you guys know the reference. And if you don't, look up the Beeve. Um, and so yeah. In fact, I was taught in 12-step land that um people in that were in a relationship like we are married in a 12-step fellowship, 12-step program, that they not go to the same meetings together, that they not um talk about whether, have you called your sponsor or have you done whatever. It's two separate things, each person doing self work, and then um not getting in that involved in that institution.
Well, it's a fine line, I think, between nagging. Like, did you go to that meeting? Um did you call your sponsor? Right? Like there's a fine line between nagging and both of us being in a committed relationship, and we got into this relationship knowing what our vices were and agreeing that working a program was a requirement,
Mm,
a standard that we
mhm.
both needed to meet. So entering into that, but then we had this rule that we don't ask about the program. I think it really placed us in a bad spot for a long
Well,
time.
and there was a lot of things going on early in recovery. We're early in our relationship.
Yeah.
And I'm not ashamed to talk about them. I don't. I won't go into great detail about it, but I had untreated bipolar disorder, and a lot of other things that I didn't realize that I'd even had. ADHD. I just thought that I was, disorganized. That I couldn't maintain a straight line, and that sometimes I get stuck on things. I just thought I was obsessive in certain areas. Um, anyway, it was a struggle. It was a struggle, and I only know from my side. From my side, it was torturous because I couldn't. I had the tolerance of, I don't know, the Hulk, which isn't very much, um, and and I was. I'm pretty sure I was the devil to live with in the beginning. Um,
Well, to me, and I think that's what kind of is the um like I feel like I can talk about the To the Wives chapter because mental health struggles, anyone out there who's listening and has a loved one who suffers from mental health, it's identical to active addiction. I don't care what anyone says. It looks exactly It looks the same, it feels the same, and it requires the same amount of like tending to. Like, we have to work a 12-step program. You also have to tend to your mental health, your medication, and that's a new standard
Hmm.
in our
Hmm.
relationship.
Hmm.
And like, I now also work a codependency program. So I work the 12 steps of AA around people and our relationship, um, but just people in general. And that's a new standard. Like, if I ever stopped working or looking at life through that lens, w- I believe that you have the right to say, this isn't, I think you need to tend to this.
Yeah. Well, there'd probably be a murder case involved, and I'm not sure who would be the murderer. I think it would be you because she watches all these murder mystery or murder shows, psychopathic killer stuff.
It's relaxing.
And I know that she probably has figured out a way to get away with it.
Not true.
um Yeah, so and what's funny is as a communicator, I am a fantastic communicator when it comes to subject matter, when it comes to my personal experiences with the 12 steps and in a public speaking format that doesn't bother me at all. But when we get to talking about feelings uh between her and I, it's almost like I can talk to sponsees and my sponsor easier about these things than I can with my own wife. And I don't know why that is, and trying to make strides in that area for sure. It's almost like I become emotionally an emotional simpleton. I don't even know how to describe what I'm feeling. I just
Well, sometimes I think it goes back to what we just said in the beginning is like sometimes I truly believe you forget that I suffer from the same illness as you.
mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
And I'm like literally your equal in that area. And so when you fall short, your mind tells you that you're less than, but in reality we're suffering the same illness, and I've recovered and continue to recover from the same types of selfishness, self-centeredness, undisciplined. I mean, I never used to be any of those things.
right.
None of them. And I have let God do all of those things for me. But I think that in those moments of communication, you feel like you can't talk to me on that level for some reason because you forget that.
Well, I think it's that, and this is we're kind of opening a whole other can of worms here, but um, this is one of the key factors to growing up in a dysfunctional home, um, is that inability to like see myself as an equal to anyone, that I'm lesser to everyone. Um, and it may not externally look like that, but internally, like even the fact that Recovered and Free has been helping people for 8 years is mind-boggling to me. It's mind-boggling to me because I don't feel like I deserve it. I don't feel like I deserve any kind of success in my life. I don't feel like I deserve a great woman like Danielle. And it's a haunting thing that sometimes escapes me. Sometimes it leaves, and but I've still got messages that my wonderful sperm donor gave me from a young age, and that was that I was a piece of crap and I would never amount to anything. And that message still rings in my ear if I get a tiny little scratch on my car. See, you can't do anything right. If uh, I miss a bill payment and I get charged a late fee. See, you can't even manage your own finances. And so it's this message that I've gone to therapy about it, and I still keep praying and asking God to remove it. And I'm making strides in that area. But this is a whole separate entity. I mean, it absolutely impacts our relationship for sure. Um, And I'm not trying to play a victim. I'm not trying to, pour Dawn. It's just a reality. It's a voice and a message that I am powerless to remove myself. Um, and it doesn't show up in every area of my life, but it certainly does show up in my relationship. And it's one of the things that the big book is very clear about on page, I think it's 19.
It's me.
No, she knows page
I live the
117.
big book. I don't know the pages of the big book.
Wow, what does that mean? I know the pages.
Oh my
Uh,
god.
oh my God.
There it is,
There.
folks. There it is.
And I don't have my glasses, so I'm like swimming through pages that I can't see. Um, says that none of us on page 19 it says none of us makes a sole vocation of this work, nor do we think its effectiveness would be increased if we did. Which, by the way, I do make a sole vocation of this work, and I don't think its effectiveness has would be increased that I since I have. We feel that our elimination of our drinking is but a beginning. A much more important demonstration of our principles lies before us in our respective homes, occupations, and affairs. And that wording of that verbiage of respective means in order of importance. And the way that I was taught to live was the other way around, that I was to practice these principles and be Mr. Plastic and everything's fine and courteous and patient and loving and tolerant and all of these wonderful characteristics out in the public eye. And then secondarily at work. And then when I get home, you know, the real Don shows up. Um, the real family comes into play. But add another element, add someone dropping into the house, and all of a sudden, you know, the atmosphere in the house changes again, and we're all supposed to put on a happy face, and everything's supposed to be smiley and beautiful and wonderful. But that's the challenges of growing up in a dysfunctional home, alcoholic home. And again, there's a whole other fellowship for that I would encourage you to, if what I'm describing is you, you may want to look into. Please reach out to me. I'm easy to find. Phone number is everywhere on the internet. I don't hide who I am. Um, I'd be glad to talk to you about adult children of alcoholics and dysfunctional homes. So you don't have to have come from an alcoholic home to have come up in dysfunction. But there's certainly characteristics that are identifiable characteristics that a sufferer of someone who has grown up in a dysfunctional home will wrestle with. Um, and one of those is me seeing myself as an equal to people. Um, it's a big challenge because I do think she's a better woman than me, and I don't want to ever be a woman. I'm not confused about that, but she's a better human being than I am. Uh, and some of the times I just can't see myself as God sees me. It's a challenge because I keep looking at myself through the lenses, even though I don't live like that today. But I look at myself through the lenses of my past and previous experiences in life, and I was not a good person. Um, I was not a good person. I may have been somewhere in there, but I did a lot of bad things um, intentionally. Uh, wow, we're getting a little farther than I wanted to. Why don't you take over?
I don't know what
I'm
to say.
oversharing right now.
I don't know what to say right now. Um, well, I feel like you have um I feel like you have good experience over the last couple of months working with a new sponsor
Hmm.
and to bring something to the table of like what can you I mean, for me, in our marriage, when I am disturbed or something's going on, um, to take that and bring it to my sponsor, and she just does a phenomenal job of most of the time it's not the thing.
Hmm.
It's not the thing. It's a fear that or an old message that I heard or learned about when I was super young that has nothing to do with what we're fighting about, or what the disturbance is. And she really helps me. And it's not the person, right? My sponsor could be anyone. By the way, I'm not idolizing my sponsor, but it's just like the fact that I can step away and I can kind of peel the onion back of what's going on with me. I can figure out what is the actual fear, right? What am I actually afraid of right now? And I can also figure out with her, what do I have a right to talk to you about? Because that's really important too. Because working a 12-step program, I think around drugs and alcohol, we got, at least I got this old message that if I'm like ever mad or disturbed for long periods of time, like I'm wrong, right? Because resentment is
Mm.
whatever
The
the
number one
the
offender.
number one offender. So I shouldn't be resentful, right? Like if I'm feeling mad, I need to just be this like totally chill, um cool person who interacts with the world, and maybe I might get a little slighted feeling, but like I'm super recovered, so I'm not allowed to be mad. Or if I
Hmm.
say this, it will cause conflict. So this is where my codependency work has come in tremendously because anger is a super healthy emotion. And I do believe that a lot of like hardcore big book thumpers um they get lost in the fact that they shouldn't ever feel angry.
Mm.
And that is really damaging, deadly, honestly, for codependence. If you're not a codependent or if you don't suffer from a problem with people, I don't believe it would matter as much. But for me to tell myself that I can't be disturbed, this shouldn't be making me mad. I should be more recovered than this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
faithful. I love God so much. This anger can't be right. Um 10 stepping for me has done wonders in bringing my voice back.
Mm.
And I get to pick apart, okay, this is fear. I don't even need to say any of this to him, right? I This can go in the trash because it's childhood stuff and fear. But this, I think a boundary may have been infringed on. Then I can take a look at what that is going on, and then I can spot check my motive because she's so good. She'll, say, what is your motive wanting to say this to him? And if my motive is, I want to say it to get you to do something different, then I shouldn't be going back to you with that. But if my motive is just like, I have a voice and this upset me and you cross the line and I'm hurt, and I'm just telling you this because I deserve to tell you that I'm hurt, then that's different. And
Mm.
those are the things when I get to practice the pause and not be reactive, which I can be reactive. He speaks way too highly of me. Um, but when I practice and I'm watchful and I get to step away and process these things with my sponsor and then come back to you. I mean, what is your experience with that on the other side of that's what I want. That's what I want to like hone in on is like,
Well,
how can you tell when
well,
I'm working?
yeah, because you're not shifting blame. You're taking personal responsibility. Um, you're speaking in truth, right? I'm not a big fan of my truth. I just, I'm not. There are plenty of people who believe in their truth and my truth and somebody else's truth. I think there's only one. Um, Call me a simpleton, but when she speaks in truth, it's not harmful, right? I will say that the truth will set you free, but first upset you.
So it hurts, but it's not
But it's
not harmful, like,
it's
I
not a
don't owe you
harmful
an
hurt.
amends at all.
Right, 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 right. And that's one of the things that we do at Recovered and Free. Like, it's funny how if you poll the room, how many of you guys hate liars? Oh, everybody puts their hand up. And I said, yeah, right up until you're served up a good dose of truth. And then all of a sudden, please lie to me. Um, but this is how I know she loves me.
Yeah, we trust and love the people the most who tell us the truth, because when crap hits the fan, we want to go to those people who have always told us the truth in the hard times. And like to be able to do that in a relationship is crucial. And
Hmm.
for a while, we still fumble through
Yeah.
it. We're getting better, I think, at transparent communication. And I think you working with your new sponsor is really helping our relationship grow.
Yes, you know who you are. If you're watching, you know who you are. And you have, I'm not idolizing you either because you're just a man who puts his pants on one leg at a time as well. But your unique perspective um, has helped me out tremendously because you're not coming out at me like the systematic, robotic 12-step approach, which I really needed because I know this book and I needed a new experience, and you started putting me on that path. So I really appreciate you. Um, yeah, I mean it's the highest form of intimacy is honesty.
Hmm. Yeah. And like the passage we read in the beginning, like healthy conflict, we can leverage that. If we're coming out the other side better with a better system or outlook, that's connection, even if it felt disruptive in that moment and not good. Um, I believe when we are both utilizing 10 stepping, pausing, we are actually able to successfully do conflict.
Hmm.
That is the only time
Yeah,
we are able, like just being honest. If those two things are not happening,
we're not we're not good.
we are not
And I'm
successfully conflicting at all.
and I am by my very nature,
We are
I'm a
rupturing and not repairing.
I'm a combative avoidant. I'm a combative avoidant. So I avoid the issue, and I also defend my every thought, action, deed, everything that she says, even though it's a honest appraisal of her feelings or the situation. I am interpreting it as though she's, coming at me with a butcher knife, and I am combative and defensive or avoidant and just shut down entirely. But I think that's getting better, you because we all have our different ways of dealing with conflict. Um, in my house, conflict always ended up in physical abuse. Conflict always ended up in uh, me jumping in front of a fist that was meant for my mom, or catching one that was aimed at me. And so conflict means in my mind and in my experience, which I may be a candidate for PTSD too. I don't know, but in my mind is something to be avoided like the plague. Um, because it's going to get ugly. And then when we flip that around, and I'm now in recovery, I'm seeking God, trying to have an intimate relationship with Him and my wife and my family. I when we get into an argument, when we have conflict, my justification for how I'm behaving, even if it's like withdrawing, is, well, at least I'm not my old man. At least I'm not talking bad to her. I've never talked bad to you in 8 years. I've never, cussed you or um, talked bad to you. And in my mind, well, see, I didn't even talk bad to her,
Mm-hmm.
right? And so, again, I'm not trying to be justifying. I'm just putting myself out on Front Street. This is Don Radin. I'm imperfect, and together, we're imperfect, but what God has put together, I can't even tear us under, and that is pretty amazing. Like, you would think that I was on a mission at some stages of our
Sometimes,
life.
sometimes. I also think I was just kind of swirling around. Um, I think that practicing the steps the way that they're meant to be, and particularly around um, the pausing, 10 stepping, and even could be amends. Um, sorry, phone ring. Um, this also helps prevent us from emotionally dumping.
Get
Go, go, go. From
Right.
emotionally dumping on each other,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? Like, which ends up being down, down, down. I can't handle all these interruptions.
Sorry, it's okay. Just keep rolling.
Um,
Keep rolling.
yeah. So emotionally dumping on each other, like it to have, and this isn't just, I don't think, sponsorship. This is having a network of like-minded, spiritually mirrored men or women in our lives that we can turn to first to process these things, or again to 10th step, and it prevents us from being emotional dumping grounds on each other. um with your mental health stuff, I took on a very heavy, like, emotional caretaking role,
Mm-hmm.
because I always felt like I had to be on point, and I had no room, there was no room for my stuff. I had to be very stoic and still. Um, and that is tiring.
Yeah, and I'm sorry for that.
It's okay. But when you're exercising your people, you're doing steel on steel with the guys, or using this new sponsor, um, finding that humility and um, doing those things, I don't feel like that burden is lifted, and then I get to feel like you're equal.
Mm-hmm.
I get to remove myself from feeling like I need to be on all the time.
Right.
Like, one of the best things to date of my memory of you is, like, the first time that you came to me after we had a conflict, because it was always me
Mm-hmm.
coming back to you, like chasing you down, or are we going to talk about this, we need to fix this, it's, I can't, I can't handle the times or whatever. But the first times you really started tapping into working with your sponsor, and then coming back to me, and then you brought the repair to me,
Mm-hmm.
which was exactly what I needed, because I was so tired. I was like, I don't think I can keep bringing that repair back. So
Right.
both people working, you know, the program is just so, it's so critical, I think, when there's different types of addictions and mental health stuff
Mm-hmm.
going on in the house.
Lots of variables,
Yeah.
and then pack on the kids, right?
Yeah.
Um, excuse me. Um, I was thinking another thing that we did together for quite a while was the percentage thing. I can't deal with this. I only have
Oh,
10%.
Brown.
Brene Brown, that's what it was.
Yeah.
She gave us a couple of really great deals. Like the story I'm telling myself is
That didn't work for us
that
though.
that didn't work because I was
The
still
story I'm telling myself is you suck.
you
And
suck and I'm right.
we didn't use that tool well.
No, but the percentage one we did because that helped with balancing some of the load with the kids. Hey, look, I got 10%. You're gonna have to bring
Yeah,
the 90.
parenting. We've always done pretty good in parenting despite our discord. Like if we've not been well, we've always, for the most part, been able to come together and parent pretty well, I
Yeah,
think. So kudos. And something I was thinking of, two people working a program, um, helping others together is
it's
critical.
my favorite.
Is critical.
It's my favorite.
I think it's absolutely 100% necessary to work step 11 and 12 together.
Hmm.
Like if you're married and you are both actively supposed to be working 12-step program, you should be practicing 11 and 12 together.
Tell him.
Yes, what I just said.
Yeah,
If you're married and you're working a 12-step program, you should be working 11 and 12 together.
yeah,
Yes.
I agree.
Um and then amends, of course.
I always make them. I 98% of the time have 99% of the time I've made amends. I was taught by my brother's father-in-law that the two most valuable words that a man can have in marriage, a husband can have, is I'm sorry.
He does say I'm sorry a lot.
A lot.
You definitely make more on the spot amends than me.
I'm sorry.
You're better at that than me.
Uh, ooh,
More practice.
W. It's more practice because I make so many more mistakes. She's right 100% of the time. I'm not even being facetious. I'm not being sarcastic, facetious, whatever word you'd like to use there. Historically speaking, you've been right 100% of the time. Okay, there might have been once or twice, but suggestions you've made about recovered and free and ideas that you've had with employment or employees and kids and um, switching doctors or whatever, like you've been 100% right. Although I will tell you this, it doesn't matter if she's right. My first response is going to be no.
Well, and my knee
I'm,
jerk.
I'm like oppositionally defiant. The moment she says left, I'm saying nope, we're going right.
Well, and then my codependent, what do you call it? Achilles heel, whatever. My
Sure.
character defects and codependency tend to swing in the controlling realm.
I did not nod there.
So for us, that can get really dangerous because no matter if what I am thinking may be logical or the idea I have may be logical, and I mean the book Into the Wives talks about this, that it's critical that sometimes I don't say the thing, or I have to watch my tone and I don't criticize, and it goes back to motive again,
Mm,
and checking where I'm at, like calling my sponsor, do I need to be saying this, and she's like, this sounds like a God job, not a you job, like let him have his own experience around this. And a lot of the times I don't have to say anything, or I shouldn't, and when I do, it escalates
mm,
our dynamic.
yeah.
um
Well, while she's talking, I can see vaguely that there's a whole bunch of comments that we're not commenting on. So I'm gonna go grab my phone real quick and say some things to everyone who's checking in.
Can't we see him right here?
I can't see him.
You have your glasses, right?
I know, but it's far away. I'm old. Blind.
Well, hurry up because this is awkward.
I'm starving, Marvin.
Well, we gotta eat.
All right, I'm back. Whoa, look at that gray hair. Holy. Cutest
I could have
dog.
read, you know.
Cutest dog
I
ever.
could have read this.
Well, I'm doing it now. So you keep. Whoa, look. Captions are auto-generated. Okay, let's see this. Oh, Lloyd.
Hi, Lloyd.
Hey, Lloyd. Greg Ross. Colin. Colin. The Lord's Prayer Family Day. Yes, you got it.
Everyone remembers that.
Everybody remembers that. Wes, how are you? Brent. Hey, from Kerrville. What's going on,
Hey,
Brent?
Brent.
Um, we got Buffy Lynn. Um, let's see who.
Nathan.
We got Recovered and Free chiming in saying, "Wow, I love this."
Wes.
Um, Nathan Rapp. Hey, buddy. Everybody, Nathan and Savannah had their baby shower today. And so they're like our first RAF wedding or marriage, I
Uh,
think. No, Theo was.
yeah, we've had a couple.
But first baby, first
Theo,
RAF
I
baby.
think,
Oh, that's
was
right.
our
They beat
first
you.
baby.
That's right. They beat you. And first marriage.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry.
I
Nathan, you're a second.
think it's talking.
It's talking.
I heard something the other day, or I read something yesterday about the 12 steps. And
You heard something about the
I
12
thought it,
steps
I
once?
read something about the 12 steps and I loved it so much. It said that the AA program is about becoming a disciple of discipline.
Mm, mm,
Isn't
mm,
that so
mm.
good?
It is terrible.
I just loved that. A disciple of discipline. It's so true.
It's true, but the truth will set you free. But first, it will make you upset. Um, you did it. 53 minutes.
I know. I'm sweating.
Are you?
Yeah.
I have a sinus infection, so I can't smell.
Mm, doesn't smell.
So, thank you for coming on. Thank you for doing this because I
Thanks
know.
for having me. Thanks, Colin,
Yes, Colin, thanks for
for forcing me to do this.
forcing Danielle to do it. Because I by myself could never have done this.
You
Um,
definitely could have talked by yourself for an hour.
yeah, but you know how boring that is? Uh, anyway, thank you guys for tuning
Look.
in. And
Hi, Ted.
hey, Ted, my wife wants to say, being allowed to conflict is good medicine, a gift between two. Current marriage, great job, you two. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Love that. It
Um,
is a gift. It feels like a gift to be able to healthy conflict. It seriously does.
yeah,
That's what brings us closer together. Connection,
connection.
real connection.
Yeah, it's the strongest relationships are made through adversity, right? And been true since the dawn of man. I mean, from military training to relationships to, I mean, it's adversity that draws people together. Um, if they can take the heat and stay in the kitchen, you know?
Yeah.
Um, and I will say that no matter how difficult this has been for either of us, that commitment to bear down and just muscle through it.
And to God first and foremost.
Of course.
But
But
I think that
still the knee bending challenge is to surrender that to God at the very least,
Mhm.
right? Like, um,
Well, without being equally yoked, impossible.
impossible.
Literally impossible. We would not have made it a second.
Not there.
Robin. Hi,
Robin.
Robin.
Hi. Um, oh, you guys are so nice. Oh my gosh. Um, anyway, I want to, I'll make comments to everyone later, typity typity. Or actually, Danielle's really super good at the social medias, them internets. You're really good at that.
Thank you.
Um, yeah, I just want to thank you guys for your time tonight and tuning in. And um, again, thank you, babe. I love you. And I'm so happy that we get to conflict together.
Just for today.
Just for today. Easy does it. First
That
things
actually
first.
applies.
But
Just
for
for
the
today.
grace of God, you're no longer alone.
Codependency stuff. Just for today applies.
Just 1 minute at a time.
Just for
One
today.
1 minute at a time.
Yeah, true.
All right. Thank you guys. Love you. We'll talk to you later.